My name's Ed Poole. I'm on the Greens Organise steering group. Greens Organise is an eco-socialist members group within the Green Party that's fighting for a more class-conscious, internationalist, socialist Green Party. The Green Party is obviously primarily an electoral project, one that's always had quite a strong kind of strand of socialism running through it. We've always supported workers' rights, public ownership, internationalism, etc. But in Greens Organise, we understand that it takes more than nice policies. It's going to take more than, good, nice words. We need to be rooted in communities. We need to be rooted in trade unions, because no elected official, no matter how well-intentioned, is going to get anywhere fighting against the status quo without a confrontational mass movement supporting them. Despite the success of the left in the Green Party and the recent success of the left in the Green Party and the new direction of the leadership under Zach Polansky, Green Party still contains quite a strong kind of strand of left liberalism, of people whose theory of change is to get a Green in the room and work with establishment parties to try and kind of shape and influence policy. For us, this shows a staggering lack of ambition that we need to tackle the crises we face, but also a fundamental failure to demonstrate an understanding of class power and the kind of vested interests we're up against. Recent calls by some senior Greens for the Green Party to stand down for Andy Burnham in the Makerfield by-election are a good example of this, as Andy Burnham has instantly buckled to pressure from donors and Labour Together and so on, and his offer is effectively continuity Starmer with pro-austerity, pro-Israel, pro-privatisation. He's gone out of his way to make it clear that he serves the super-rich. The left can't look to do deals with the Burnham Labour government. We need to fight. Since the 2008 financial crisis, the implementation of austerity, local government funding has been gutted and many services have been cut past the bone. At the same time, need for those services, as we know, has grown massively. I work in the NHS and I see that in patients not being able to get discharged from hospital because there's no community services to look after them when they leave. So with the 2026 local elections, Greens Organise put together some pledges for Green candidates to sign to take a more adversarial stance towards austerity and central government. Pledges we came up with signed by over 1,000 Green Party candidates, and about 250, we're still working out exactly, about 250 of those candidates were elected to local government, including the directly elected mayors of Haringey and Lewisham, Zoe Garbett and Liam Shrivastava. We asked candidates to pledge to hold an emergency national summit with councillors, MPs, community organisations and trade unions to establish unmet needs of residents and build cross-party mass campaign to restore local government funding to the levels needed, to build and support community organisation and mobilisation to push for a programme of public engagement and to bring residents into decisions about how to handle the crisis through local assemblies and national demonstrations, to build on existing community organisations and help make the case for long-term solutions such as wealth tax, rent controls, national care service, land value tax, community wealth building, public ownership, etc. To promote and enable democratic control of local assets with participatory budgeting and popular asset commissions to build community ownership, working with trade unions, housing unions, cooperative economy, voluntary sector organisations, to reorganise or end bad contracts with big corporations and stem the tide of profit extraction and start to put power and resources back into local communities. Transparency, to open the books on council spending and pursue innovative revenue-raising mechanisms, as well as looking at the use of reserves and borrowing powers to push for transparency on how need is assessed, resources are allocated, and unmet need is recorded. The emergency summit, I was in a meeting yesterday, the emergency summit is now going to be for September, and it's going to be hosted by Hackney Council. There was some issue getting it hosted by Hackney Council because there was an insistence on trade unions being in the room and being part of that, and officials in Hackney Council pushed back, but that is now relented and it will be hosted by Hackney Council and will involve trade unions. The crisis in local government austerity requires for us a mass response. It requires mass mobilisation and mass participation to take on central government and private interests bleeding local communities dry, and to fight for long-term solutions to the funding crisis created by Thatcherite central government policies designed to extract wealth from our communities. New Green-led councils in Lewisham, Hackney, Haringey and elsewhere can be central to this fight back, and I'm sure everyone on the left will watch with interest to see if a bolder, more radical Green Party will improve on the Green Party's somewhat patchy record on local government and be central to building a fight back that's been badly lacking so far. I was radicalised as a teenager, seeing the anti-poll tax campaign change government policy and bring down the most hated Tory of them all, Margaret Thatcher. But we now face a more monumental challenge than we faced then, and we'll need to use all our collective strength and go way beyond local skirmishes against local cuts. We need to organise on a national scale, bringing together Greens, other socialist parties and independents with community groups and trade unions into a national campaign to put our collective strength and common cause to fight government austerity and challenge power. This is how we demonstrate socialism in action and win this battle. Thank you.